My name is Deepa Kach.
Yes.
I knew about Savo from my sister, and my sister also knew about Savo from a Chama friend who is an investor.
Who is an investor?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And in one sentence, could you describe today's event?
Today's event, I'm very excited.
Yes.
I have invested in a project I have never found time to visit.
Yes.
I'm from far, so I did everything online.
Yes.
It's my first time to come and own my unit, and I haven't been here physically to see anything.
So this is the first time?
It's the first time I'm setting foot on this project.
Since you started investing?
Since I started
When
investing.
was this you started investing?
I invested last year, September. Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And how would you describe your Savorite experience in one sentence?
Very wonderful. There is a lot of transparency. Everything is clear. And if you have any query, you get immediate help. But so far, everything is clear. You get your statements, you get the report. That's why I did have to come and check before thinking of investing. I invested before checking out. I never even made a trip here. Everything was already clear.
And you said you came all the way from?
Kisumu.
You came all the way from Kisumu.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's all for today. Asante sana.
Asante.
A very good evening to everyone who's joining us today. Of course, we are the Bold Who Changed the World. Karibuni sana. I'm very excited to host this webinar today. This is the 4th episode of Frequently Asked Questions. I hope it has been an amazing, amazing journey. We are live on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel at savo.ke. Please keep the comments coming. Let us know what you're expecting today. And without further ado, of course, my name is Martha Inyuma. I'm a fire partner here at Savo, and I'm your host. And today I have the lovely Sianjoka.
Hi.
You can say something about yourself, what you'd like us to know, and then you can lead us with a word of prayer.
Okay, my name is Sandra Munene. I am a fire partner at Savo as well. As you can tell, I am also very young. Yes, that is it for the internet. Let's have a word of prayer. Let's pray. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this day that you have given us. Thank you for your guidance, for your protection. Thank you, Lord, for the guidance that you will provide us with tonight. We pray, Lord, that as we talk to the people back at home watching us, may our lessons impact them. May they also be able to better themselves. May we better ourselves as well. And all we do it glorifying your name. Pray this, believing and trusting in you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Once again, please share your comments. Let us know where you're watching us from. Of course, you know our emoji is the fire emoji, which stands for financial independence for us. I know there's a lot of instability today in our country. We hope that you're taking care of yourself. We hope that you're at home. Of course, the weather is not as good as well.
This is perfect weather for staying home, by
This
the
is
way.
the perfect weather for staying at home. So we hope this is a great opportunity for you to stick here with us. Yeah, as I had mentioned, this is the 4th episode. We've been carrying out this series for the past 3 weeks, just to really cover the nitty-gritties around investments, the questions that people ask, the questions that people even ignore, or maybe just have them in mind and not really get an opportunity to discuss them. We have talked about accessible financing. We've talked about mortgages and the implications of mortgages. We've talked about choosing the right investment, passive and active investments. And today we're talking about investment habits. This is usually a very interesting topic because, habits is everything. Yes.
Habits lead to lifestyle. There's so much it implies.
There is so much into it. And maybe just to dive in directly, we know that habits affect your portfolio, investment portfolio. It affects your perception towards investment and entirely affects your financial independence. So maybe I can just start with this here. What are some of the habits that you realize that these habits are not taking you to financial independence, or rather, these habits are taking me to financial independence, and what have you executed in the better half of this year? Yes.
When you say habits, you think that it's going to be something big, but it's the small things. I can summarize my habits in 2 words.
Yes.
Retail therapy. When something goes wrong, you just go, you look at your shopping cart, you think, this looks nice. You know what? Why not? Why not? And then it arrives, you feel happy, and then something else happens, so you do it again and again and again. Let me tell you, you don't know how much you spent until now it reaches a point you have too many things, and you wonder where you got them from.
Yes.
Hey, Martin. Yeah, so just one of the habits to stop is just, okay, to start. Let me just say to start, is knowing where you're spending everything. So as soon as you know, because some things can be impulsive. Once you know how impulsive you can get with money, and you start tracking it, now you can see that this month out of what I got, half of it went here.
Yes.
And when you see those numbers, I will not lie, they do not look real. They don't. The M-Pesa statement is...
Actually, when you download the M-Pesa app, it allows you to just track your spending, and you can see money in, money out. You'll realize you're actually transacting so much that you didn't think you can afford.
You are a millionaire.
Yes. And so when you're talking about habits, of course, we go deeper into money personalities, just because these habits, which curate your personalities, your money personalities, really affect you, what you have left to put into investments. And there are very distinct personalities that we came across. Of course, retail therapy being one of them, that we call it shoppers. And of course, it's something I personally, yet I am in the path towards financial independence. It's something that I personally struggled with. I personally still struggle with, but I just learned if I'm cashless, I will just put them in my cart or screenshot them and never purchase. Yes, so we can start off with the big spenders.
Big spenders.
Yes.
Like the words insinuate people who spend big. So this is chop life. Very nice. You see something that looks good, and it's more of a status imprint, because you see, if you have this, you will be seen that
Yes.
So yes, those are the big spenders. So you can see some of their characteristics are like what? They're big risk takers, because by the time you're making a large purchase, and you have not thought of the implications, my goodness.
Or you ignore the implications, because you know, sometimes you know what you're getting yourself into, and you just decide, by the way, head on, that's where I'm going. Yeah.
YOLO, let me tell you, this YOLO lifestyle, it is not for the weak, it is not for the broke, alas.
Yes.
And also, these people have no fear of debt, they have no fear of repercussions. Can you imagine that, doing something? So, you know what? Today is today. Kesho itajipangia.
Yeah. And I think, and especially in the season that we are in, very many people have that mindset that, you know, by the way, tomorrow it will sort itself out. Me, I'm chopping life today.
It does.
The only problem is tomorrow is just in your hands. That's the challenge. So if you can't sort it, you will just struggle. Yes. But I think when you're thinking of big spenders, and some people find comfort in saying, I can afford. But that's a very dangerous place to be, because if you're thinking of a big spender, you're thinking of how are you getting this money? So is this on your daily salary? Is it the only cash cow in your budgeting that is giving you this financing to be a big spender, you know? And so if you're purely relying on jobs, we have seen life happens. And so what you think you have today and what people, you know, quote unquote, we say tomorrow will be sorted by my salary that is coming in next month, it's not guaranteed. Life happens.
Never guaranteed.
It's actually not guaranteed. So defining where that spending, where that money is coming from to facilitate your spending habits is very key.
Yes, it's key. And you can't, at this point, in as much as yes, you can afford it, you also need to know what is going to do in return for you. Because now, whether it's an asset or a liability, because if you're spending wholeheartedly on liabilities, it will reach a point. Yeah.
And I think also the difficult bit to take note of is how do you apply delayed gratification, which is very difficult. So you can imagine you're having this great job. The expectation in the society is very particular. You know, how we've defined wealth and how we've defined a good lifestyle is very particular, meaning you want to be the space where you have that S-class. You want to be the space where you have, you know, you're living lavishly simply because you work very hard and you feel the society needs to define you as a successful person or recognize you as such. And so the desire to actually live big before it's necessary, comes very, very early. And so you're tied into a golden handcuff. So you have accessible financing in sort of, you know, whether it's a car loan, wherever it is, and you go on huge and big just to be able to please the society or to equalize that equation that if you are working hard and you're earning this, your lifestyle has to look like this. Yes.
Hey, pressure should come from within, not without.
Yes.
You are your only competition.
And maybe just to dive into the habit that affects both of us, the shoppers, the retail therapy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, attack. Impulsive, very impulsive people. Because by the time you've gotten out of that space, by the way, you have fought. Because I think retail therapy, no, let us talk about shoppers, not retail therapy. So like we've said, impulsive. Also, these are people who recognize that they need to start doing something with their money. They just haven't started to do so.
Yes.
So they have the potential, that potential for investment, but it's being derailed by add to cart.
Yeah.
Because now you see if you're getting instant gratification on the daily or on the weekly, it's much harder to change that mindset from instant to delayed.
Yes,
it is so difficult. Oh my goodness. Because now you see, you're used to that rush that you get when you've acquired something very nice that you will probably never use again. But that.
Yeah, and the problem is it's like a rat race. It's a cycle that never ends. Because what is happiness? You know, really, it's sort of an illusion that you have equated this stress to be solved by this particular thing that will actually solve it for a few seconds. That feel-good factor is usually on the purchase, and at the point of payment, you realize, wow, is this where I want to go? And I think right now, with technology comes a lot of things. Of course, there is the ease of payment. So the moment you're not holding the hard cash, you actually don't feel the pinch as much. You remember kitambo kuvunja thao? It was a thing. You know, if you have 1,200 bob, you'll spend 200, but you're feeling the pinch of breaking this 1,000. But right now, because it's not hard cash, I mean, you'll never see it coming. It's a tap away, so you have your credit card or debit card, you just tap. You actually don't need to put your PIN, you tap. It's an M-Pesa prompt. So you never feel that pinch, but once you sit down and realize, okay, these are my spending habits as a shopper, that yes, I understand risk. With all these factors, I still have this habit that constantly I need to find pleasure in purchase.
There's this game I used to play where I withdrew cash. And nice, if you spend cash, it's not directly from your account. So if the account balance doesn't change, technically you haven't spent. The lies you tell yourself.
Hey, that thought process. With that
recovery.
Yes. So we can, debtors is one of the personalities.
My goodness, yes. Debtors, you are earning 100% and yet you are spending 200. Where or how you are getting that money? Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
I genuinely don't know. And now, like you mentioned, with the ease of transactions, there's so much easy access to money that it makes it easy to think that you're getting more than you actually are.
Yes.
And wow, it's hectic because these people are risk takers. Because now you know that as long as I have money, I can be able to do anything that I'm able to.
Yes.
And come next month, it'll offset this month's balance.
Yes.
And it'll extend what I'm able to get.
Yeah.
And also, I'm looking for a nice way to say this, but financially wise, they're not very good at handling or understanding money. Yes. Because it's not getting 100 and spending 150. That's not how currency works. If you want to eventually get to fire, because now that's when the principles come in. Now living within your means, being able to put aside something now for the emergency, for your investments. But when it comes to the point where you're spending more than you're getting,
And actually, maybe just to challenge that thought, probably move from living within your means to living below your means. Because sometimes you live within your means, which is a comfort space, saying that I cannot live without, say, for example, let me just use a rough example, I can't live without 50,000 a month. Why not challenge yourself to keep it a bit lower? What other things that are you able to deduct in that budget to bring it slightly lower, which will also help you now exercise the delayed gratification. Just because today I'm doing this slightly lower below what I can actually afford, and just to sort my tomorrow. And of course, it's not an easy place to be, but the realization, and hopefully after this session, you can just sit down and see, this is what I'm earning, this is where my money goes. Once you've defined where your money goes, and it's not the illusion of what you want, what the good story, this you're telling yourself, that this is what I'm earning, this is where my money goes, and split it, bills and meals and bills, Malls and cars. Split it, let it go. See your actual reality. Then see what percentages can I, sort of bring down. If it's coupe raw pole or whatever you want to call it, if you're doing it every Sunday, can you do it every other Sunday? As in, are you able to really reduce that percentage to actually now get to a point where you're not living within your means, you're actually living below your means? Because the reality is you can actually give more percentage towards investment. It is just a choice. And it's a very thin line, but it's just a choice that you can decide and say, I was giving 10%, I can increase that 10% to 50%, so that 10% goes to tithes, 40% goes to now investments. Something like that. Yeah. I think I can see a few comments. Of course, we'd like just to know what are some of the habits you've explored the better half of this year.
Don't be shy. Tell us.
Don't be shy. Even
we
the
are also
bad ones,
recovering.
we will help you. I can see Tom. He's watching us. I can see the fire. I can see Sabina Musevi watching from the US. Thank you so much, Sabina. I can see Paul Kamau watching. Thank you so much, Paul. I can see Jonathan with the fire emojis. I can see Andrew Ititu. Thank you so much, Andrew. I can see Sam. I can see Alicia. She's saying, you ladies look beautiful with big brains. Aww. Loving the conversation. Honestly, I think as employees, we are often blinded by the monthly salary. Gives a mirage of financial security. That is very true. I think we tackled that. True. As you're thinking as from the personality, and we're covering money personalities. So you're thinking as a spender, you're thinking as a shopper, you're thinking as a debtor. You always presume that tomorrow is sorted by tomorrow's salary. But that's not sufficient. I mean, for you to actually become financially independent, you need to learn to cut the cash cow, kill it. That this is your active cash cow. If you're employed, that's your active investment. By the way, how do you make it actually irrelevant? That you can actually get to a point now where money is working for you. Because if you're always waiting for the next salary, by the way, you're always on a rat race. Itaisha 15th, I think this has come at a very timely point, because this is where people get broke. The cars on the road reduce. Everyone has done everything. So how do you change that? I can see Finn saying debtors, you're earning 100%, but you spend 150%. And that's the unfortunate reality. And with that path now, that leads you to death. I would like to say dependence and all that, but really, you've lost your dignity, and so eventually you'll have to work until you die, or you just actually die. Yeah. Savers. Contrary to what people believe. I would like to say that without contradiction, without the fear of contradiction. Savers.
People with great potential. These ones, they understand what their money can do for them. These ones understand what it means to be frugal. Frugal doesn't mean that you're hoarding everything. Contrary to popular belief. Yeah. It's not. If you watch A Christmas Carol, how Scrooge used to keep all the money in his pocket. Nothing goes, nothing leaves.
Yes.
But now being frugal just means that you know where your money goes. You can spend on what is necessary, and maybe once in a while on things that you like. Because now the only downside to the savings plan is that it's in the name savings. Chini ya mattress, ndani ya pillowcase, ndani ya socks.
In the bank.
Yeah. Because this money, it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. It's decreasing in value. You have it, yes. You're keeping it very nicely, yes. But it's still decreasing in value. It's not doing anything for you. And that's where the problem comes in. Because in as much as you do understand what your money can do for you, the minute that you don't put it to work, it loses
its value. Of course, the sad story, we've seen how the shilling has dropped. So if you are saving 500,000, next year it might not give you equal value. And saving is usually a very, how do I put it? It's a very delicate balance of life, just because you're exposed to liquid cash. Where there is money, problems sniff. By the way, all your village will burn down. All your problems will just arrive to your door. And so, because yes, I know there are very many platforms that have really sort of limited access, so you can have a locked savings account, or you can put it somewhere, probably in a SACCO or something, so it's very difficult to access it immediately. But really, when things are thick, you will be able to access that money, yeah? And so, being able to just understand that money will never be enough, and knowing that yes, I can save for a very long time to start investing or to start doing whatever, but it will never be enough, because with every additional 1,000, you have additional 1,000 worth of problems. So how do you train your mind to actually be less liquid? Because if I don't have money, and as we were talking about retail therapy, it is a habit. I had said, I have started my investment journey. And of course, within the investment journey, these factors will affect you in one way or another. Pressure, peer pressure, whatever, life, their money generating problems, they will always be there. And so I realized, so my retail therapy is actually a problem. But it's a problem because I have the cash. What if I put all the money somewhere? By the way, just stay cashless. Okay, huwezi kufa njaa. Budget before, know that this is the amount that you require to move around. This is the amount that you require to pay your bills. This is the amount that you require to live a comfortable life.
Then the rest.
Comfortable is very, but a comfortable life, something that you can actually do your day to day. I can come to work. I can help people achieve financial independence comfortably. I can go to site, all that, yeah, and then invest the rest. By the time for us as a company, by the time you're being paid salary, it's cut immediately. Hakuna tamaa. Your money will be cut before that salary hits, so that it goes towards your investments. But that really helps, because you'll be so tempted. My phone is full of those screenshots, but I don't have money. Unless a windfall gain, mtu akuje aone, huyu mrembo amependeza, aniulize chenye nataka. And today it's very difficult. Nobody anaona kupendezwa, because money is difficult to find. So if you're looking from a savings perspective, yes, it's a very good personality to carry, a habit to ride on, but it's not sufficient. Because if you're liquid, just remember, if you're liquid, problems are sniffing you. Because you'll always have an opportunity to say, okay, let me just help at this point. See, next month, if I'm saving 10,000, I'll save 11,000. You'll always say, there's a buffer that I will increase from next month. Yes. Of course, the biggest and the best place to be is the investor. Yeah. Yes.
But also, savings can be gateway to investors.
Yes.
It just needs to be the proper mindset shift. After that, you're where you need to be.
Yes.
So under the investor, which is where you need to thrive, because the investor is where it's at.
Yes.
So the investor does not dream of labor; they dream of passive cash flow. Because at that point, you're at that point where, yes, you've seen what will work for you, what your money will work for, so you're just waiting for the returns.
Yes.
So you don't need your active cash flow, or if you do want your active cash flow, it's purely out of choice. Purely out of choice. Because some people enjoy working.
Yes.
Which is good. Do what you love.
Yes.
Also, another quality of investors, discipline. By the time you get to the point where you have chosen your investment, you have dedicated time, effort, and resources to this particular investment that you will see it must let you grow. You will grow with it. You have dedicated everything.
Yes.
Discipline is top notch. Discipline thoughts, discipline actions. By the end of it, you're well done.
Yeah.
Also, by the time you're getting to do something or invest your money in something that you're sure you will not lose your money in, Warren Buffett's laws of investing.
Yes.
By the time you get to that point, you have done so much research, so much due diligence that as a person, before making a certain decision, these are the steps that you need to take, which is very key. Unfortunately, now speaking, kidogo biased on the real estate side. Real estate has been known now for a few very shady things.
Fraud.
Yes, fraud.
Yeah.
I was trying to sugarcoat.
This market, people are just doing shenanigans.
Yes, which is very true. Now, with that in mind, before you settle on something, the kind of due diligence you will need to have done, my goodness, it is no joke. And before you have put 100% trust in something, you know that this is something that you're going to ride or die with. So by the time you've made that decision, you know that you have staked everything on it and you have research and everything you need to back it up. Yes.
I think when you're thinking of the habit of investment, it's a very interesting place to be, especially in this season, because very many people are questioning the economy in the country. Very many people are seeing, you are seeing risk that has not yet happened, which I totally understand. But everyone wants to buffer themselves. If this ever goes wrong, what do I do? And The challenge with that is if you are a basic buyer, you're not an investor. Sawa. There's a quote that I've now really loved since the past 2 weeks that I learned, that going to the shop to get groceries does not make you a chef. So investing into something, so buying shares, buying an apartment, getting into an MMF does not make you an investor unless your mindset has shifted to an investor. Sawa. So you can be a buyer, going to the tomato shop, buying tomatoes, and just making whatever you make at home. That is just you're not a chef, you're just practicing something, you're cooking. So even in the investment space, because you have purchased something does not make you a buyer, does not make you an investor. You just start by being a buyer. However, now if you started investing in your mindset, then you're able to pick up habits that actually make you an investor. Yeah, I'm saying this season is interesting because very many people, probably you've started investing, and this is something I shared even this morning. You started investing and things go wrong. Not entirely wrong, but we are where we are as a country, and quickly you want to hold back the cash, meaning you're operating with this investment as a savings, where things go wrong and you can access it. The moment you start reacting that way, then that is a very dangerous place to be. That you are actually acting on reaction, meaning you highly likely you didn't do your research and analysis properly for you to be able to say, these are the risks, because risk is unavoidable, but it can be reduced, and it can be, some can be even mitigated. Yeah, and so by the time you're getting to a point of reaction, that you're being reactive, that something has happened, so I have to quickly pull out, then it means there is a bit of the steps towards investing that maybe you missed, just because as you're coming in, you know that there are possibilities of risk across, and risk could be loss, job loss. Risk could be a health problem. Risk could be anything. And so once you've really, really analyzed that risk, you're able to say, okay, these are the things that I'm getting myself into. These are the possible risks. This is how I am looking at sorting that risk. So that it gets to a point where when you started investing, this actually becomes an investment that you will consistently put in and not remove. Because one of the characteristics of an investor is that they are consistent and regular contributors to the investment. That you're not always, because think about it, the richest people in the world, they also had risks. Maybe at some point, if you read the history of the richest people, their businesses crashed. I mean, you've invested into something and the way just doesn't go through. Such things happen. And so once you've been able to really analyze the market and the industry that you're getting yourself into, and you've analyzed your lifestyle, you've understood your spending habits, you've understood your saving habits, you've understood everything, then you're able to say, this is the amount of risk I can take, and this will allow me to continue with this investment. Yeah. Of course, you have a lot of emotional resilience in that you're not making a decision just because my neighbor started selling maca, it is working. Let me also go that direction, and unfortunately with our culture, we're not very open to money conversations, meaning people hardly learn where to put their money. You're taught how to make money, you're taught how to spend money, but you're not taught how to invest the money. And so because of that, because of the lack of information and lack of just understanding of the different channels of investment, people just go by what they see. And the problem of going to do something by barely what you see is that people actually never show you the bad things. People never show you the murkiness of the business. And so you are seeing the success, but you don't know the underlying problems. You don't know what happens uko chini, yeah? And so if you're able to be emotionally resilient, you're able to actually, be a rational thinker, a rational decision maker. Yeah.
I think one of the, like what you mentioned, being the kind of risk that you take on, this thing that's called productive paranoia. So in as much as you have planned, you've seen this is what will work for you, you need to think, what will happen in the case things go wrong? Am I still able to continue with what it is I'm doing? How, if things go wrong, what is this thing that I have put all my efforts into? How will it come back to help me?
Yes.
So just having conversations around that will really bring clarity into how it is that you're going to invest, what it is that you're going to invest in, and the kind of returns that you need, that you're aiming to get.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that goes into making an investment, but it's also key to find out what the aim of your investment is.
Yes, and I think the bitter truth is when you're thinking of the characteristics of an investor, there's a lot of patience and long-term thinking that is involved, and which is, you can imagine, it's very difficult because you're working today, you're working very hard today, you earn today, and you don't eat today. Yeah, that's yani layman language. You're working today, very, very hard. Very, very hard. You put in your hours, you've done your very best, and you actually earn today. But we are telling you, okay, this is what you've earned today, push it to sort you tomorrow. And you know, the problem is when you're doing investments, this is generational wealth. Highly likely, you might not enjoy it entirely. Hopefully, you might be able, if you start sooner, you might be able to really, really enjoy your investments. But really, really, this is a generational wealth that you're building. And so it requires a lot of patience, a lot of long-term thinking. You know, you're talking of 10, 15 years into the vision. And the good thing when you start and you're able to go through the difficult part of waiting, then it becomes addictive. And now that is where the sweetness comes in. Because you always now want to, you've seen how money can work for you, you always want to pump in more to ensure money is working for you. Yeah? Which is a good place to be. And so meaning whatever you've thought of as your financial independence number continuously increases, because now the good habits now start to build in the discipline, the satisfaction of delayed gratification. The satisfaction of actually continuously investing, and that is the satisfaction of the impact. Because the moment something works for you, you're very comfortable to actually share it. Yes. And education is the most fulfilling thing. That you're able to change someone's life. It's the most fulfilling thing. So by the time you get through that, then now you're in the right wagon. Yeah, I can see Sabina is saying thank you for your advices, thinking of putting them into practice. Thank you so much. I can see Karen Wakasyaka, I hope I've said it right. I can see the fire emojis. Thank you so much. I really hope that these sessions just tap into the small things that you hardly think about, that you can change the very, very small habits that really build who you are, your personality. Yeah.
And if you feel that this session is very nice, but you'd like a wee bit more, you know, something that can just jumpstart you, next week on Saturday the 29th, we will have a fire workshop held at Savo Sunset. You're welcome to join us. It's open. You do not have to pay anything.
There's food. Yes.
There's also food.
Yeah. So as of last week, we started the fire workshops. If you are new to Savo, we used to carry out this a lot of times back in the years 2018 and major part of 2019, 2020. Just before COVID, we used to do a lot of the workshops. So these are just educational platforms for you to come, engage, hear out where people are. You know, it's a place to actually even get an accountability partner who will, you know, sort of guide you towards financial independence. It's, you know, like-minded people. And so, as she has said, this 29th we'll be having the second fire workshop here at Savo Sunset. Savo Sunset is in Thindigwa along Kiambu Road. I know there are a few people, Sabina, I know you're watching us from the US. This time we'll try to record it so that you're able to get the content while you're still there. And of course, a great opportunity for you to learn to ask questions and maybe even start your investment journey. Yes, and of course, beyond us doing financial independence, we do Savo Lifestyle. And Savo Lifestyle is just where we have more than 2,500 residents residing with us across all our buildings. So tomorrow we have a movie night here at Savo Sunset. We have the community center from 6 p.m. So all of you are welcome. If you're looking for a place to, even in this, you know, sai sikupoa. So if you're looking for a place to be emotionally okay, we're here to sort you, because we'll have a movie night there at the community center. So we look forward to seeing you. Of course, everything we do is free. So usiogope sana. Yes. Anything that you'd like to say before we leave?
Anything. Best time to start a habit is now. A habit just takes 30 days. Once it's 90, it becomes a lifestyle. And it's a lot easier to build when you already have a lifestyle. Start the small steps now. what's the recovering retail therapy. Like she said in the screenshots, I have 12 GB of
Save data.
saved data of things I cannot purchase. But as soon as you make that small step, it encourages you to take bigger steps. Before you know it, you'll be at a place where you can barely recognize what you are doing before, and you won't recognize the fact that you used to spend 3,000 on baked goods in a month.
Yes. I think as we end this, one thing that I hope you will remember, investing is very different from buying. So you really need to change your mindset, to change your approach, to change your perspective towards money and how money works for you to actually graduate into becoming an investor. And the journey is very long. So we hope that we are able to work with you. We hope that we are able to help you get to actually financial independence and therefore impact the entire world. Thank you so much. I can see Kislev. Kislev is one of our Savorites, watching us from Slovakia. Sawa. Wow. Sawa. So thank you so much. With this frequently asked questions series, we are very intentional. We keep them to 30 minutes just to help you just capture the very, very, very small points that you can actually go and reflect. Please take care of yourself, keep warm, stay safe, take care of this country of ours, and see you next week.
They say that the youth are the future, but we believe the youth are the present.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek.
Join a community of the change makers, the innovators, the visionaries who dare to dream big and make it happen. They are the ones who will shape the future, who will challenge the norms, and who will create a better world for us all. Those who dare to dream big and make it happen. Click on the banner to join the movement today.
My experience in Savo is it's amazing because of the morals and the values the staff hold. So that makes us live in peace, and I love it here. I love it here. I love it here. Yeah.
Owning your first apartment in Nairobi has never been easier. It's simple. With zero deposit and 0% interest rate, you can pay as little as 30,000 per month for up to 5 years. Just divide the price by the number of months you want to pay. Visit www.savo.ke to learn